Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nipa TV show. I'm your host, Nipa TV, and we're going to go ahead and be commentating, casting, castrating, massive production, elevator music, stuff like that. StarCraft 2, yay! It's Protoss versus Terran, and the map is Oxide LE, and it is between two players, one player, Harstem. I have heard of this feller before, but his name on this account is the Cowboy. So either he's really into westerns, or he's really into Cowboy Bebop, or those are just some really major generalizations that make no sense. That the second one didn't make any sense at all. Anyways, let's get down to it. So at the top right, we do have Harstem as the red Protoss, and the bottom left of the map is souL with capitalized L at the end per the replay title. He has that nice capitalized L. I know that is not very relevant, but who gives a hoot? Again, the map is Oxide LE, and we'll see what happens. As we know, Protosses like to go a lot of Stargate. I've been seeing a lot lately. Terrans like to go, that basic bio force with siege tanks, as opposed to Widow Mines, Los Widow Minos. That was so. I'm sorry for that. Okay. Anyways, Barracks is almost down. Will we see probe harass on the FAT? We do see some probe harass on that SCV, but the barracks does complete. We do have a Reaper coming out. Now the question is, will souL shoot down this probe before he leaves? It looks like he is not going to. An SCV is actually going to make this probe sleep with the fishes, as per Donnie's orders. And command center is going down for souL. I'm going to alt tab really quick because I'm getting some shakiness. Perfect. All right. Oh, no, it's still there. Whatever. I'll just adjust to it. I don't need eyes anyways. Or good vision, rather. Cybernetics core going down. We do see the second gas going down. We do actually see a natural coming for Cowboy. Harstem, rather. And so both players are going to be economically even, just based on the fact that both their bases have, come up relatively at the same time. Factories going down as well. Oh yeah, Hellions are... Last PvT I saw a lot of Hellions were being used too. Reaper is going up the mountain here, hill, plateau, whatever you call, to try to see what's going on, and he does see that Stargate. So 88 charge. Thought it would save the Reaper there, but probably would not have because of the psionic transfer. It was already on that Reaper's butt, and that Reaper was not getting out of there. No way, no how. We got a bunker going down too, interestingly enough. I don't really see bunkers that much in PvT, so souL, I think, is just preparing for any start. You saw the Stargate, so he's probably putting that bunker down to defend versus that. And we'll see what Harstem goes. I have a feeling he's going to go for Phoenixes, but I could be wrong about that. He may go for Oracle. Okay, I've been wrong twice now. So Oracle seems to be the way to go. I'm tripping. Phoenixes, I guess, are more unconventional. So, anyways, we have a Shade moving in. Does get some scouting information. That first mule down is on the command center, which is nice. We actually do see... he did change his mind, but Harstem looks like he was going to... No, he didn't change his mind. Changed his mind again. He is doing a wall-off, interestingly enough, with PvT. I'm seeing that quite a bit lately. I'm not sure if I'd advised for that. I've said it many times before, the surface area concern. Oracle is moving out. We'll see what he do, or she do, rather. Or other. Or, other. Anyways, so it is going to be using that pulsar beam, and does take out one SCV, and a revelation was casted on the small force of souL. We actually see a cyclone here as well, and we do see a cyclone and Viking locking on, or the cyclone was locking on to the Oracle. Viking was focusing that. We have some shades moving in. Will souL be able to lift up? He did not lift it up in time, but Harstem does not commit. I was surprised that he didn't lift up his SCVs there. What? Wow. Okay. souL got Got a supply drop on his supply depot. Okay. Alright. I guess he really needed to. We have a factory. Moving over to the left side, try to build a reactor, so we'll see what that produces. Most likely Hellions or Widow Mines. We have a starport is getting a reactor too, so souL will start getting those fat medevacs, which are dope. We have a third base going down for Harstem too. Wow, that's pretty interesting. I guess he knows that his Terran opponent isn't really pushing out or doing any harass at all. So Harstem's just going to decide to get a third base. This is definitely greedy, I feel like. And if souL has a medevac, he could definitely take advantage of that. It's a revelation on these structures here against souL. You see, again, that reactor from the factory. I have some Marines in the natural expansion just huddled up with the Hellion. Some more supply depots are coming out for souL as well. You see the Oracle is going to try to move in. We have some Stalkers, and I neglected to mention that Harstem does have Blink for those Stalkers now. Cyclone is locking on to that Oracle and barely gets out 1 HP. Crazy. That is bananas, as we say in the StarCraft community. Zealots have the classic skin, the classic Brood War kind of skin, which is cool to see. Be awesome if I was able to get that. And Harstem does not lose a Stalker. He manages to blink out. That was cool to see. I am also shocked that this Oracle is remaining alive. Incredible control from Harstem's part. We do see +1 coming out for souL, so he's going to get that upgrade advantage. But interestingly enough, Harstem is getting armor first, and there looks like there was an engagement here. I think a Stalker did go down. We have the stem is complete, and stem is being moved up. We have this little force. We have 1 HP on the Cyclone. My goodness, these units are getting lucky this game. Siege Tank is planted down. That will provide a lot of presence for this little attack, but Harstem has a great concave here. He can force field up, and we actually do see Siege Tank being lifted, and oh man, there's a blinking on that Siege Tank. It does get focused down. Very nice pick up Harstem. Force fields on the Bioforce, absolutely insane, but souL incredibly lifts up his Bioforces to get them out of here, minus the, you know, not considering the, even though the force fields are really, really good there, but we actually see souL doing a drop, and this is actually really nice because Harstem is way out of position. Will he defend it? Is there a shield battery in the base? He does have a cannon, no shield battery though, so this drop has the potential to do a lot of damage. But does souL have enough units? I don't think so. He's lifting up his third, and we do see that drop in the natural base as nope, just the natural base. So we have a Widow Mine that did get planted down, didn't get any kills, and Harstem is just gonna actually mass recall. Very smart decision. And where did he mass recall to? He actually mass recalled to the third base, interestingly enough. I guess that was the only one that had, the only Nexus that had enough energy for the mass recall. And souL picks up his troops and gets out of there. Very nice to see from souL's part. Fortunately, his third did have to get lifted up, and Harstem still has a pretty decent economy, you know, minus the little catastrophe they haven't had, the natural. And looks like there was a Widow Mine that did get a couple of hits off, didn't get any kills, got a revelation on the main force. I don't know if souL should be pushing right here, but then again, Harstem does not have any high-tech units. He's just now getting his Immortal. So these, oh my goodness, absolute poor control from Harstem. He is doing some Blink Micro, and he has some Widow Mine that is going to be planted. Will it connect? Does not, because there is, I guess, detection because of the revelation. And these force fields are actually aiding souL, that is, because the Zealots are not able to get up in front. And you know, Harstem is doing some Blink Micro. We got a Widow Mine. He doesn't give a hoot. He's just gonna go straight up behind the Stalkers. We'll see if there is a connection. There isn't a connection. Blink to the right side. Comsec going down, and it looks like souL is going to clean up. The Immortal does come in. Got some Zealots coming in, so Harstem is not out of this yet. Oracle is trying to, you know, was assisting in the fight, I believe, you know, with those revelations, try to detect those Widow Mines. We do have an observer for Harstem, and we do have the boys are being pulled. The boys are being pulled to help out the main force of souL. This is an absolute crazy game to see for sure. +2 is armor is done for Harstem, he has 2 Immortals, but he doesn't have much of a ground force, and there are more troops coming out. We even have a Liberator coming out. Revelation on the main force of souL, and Harstem has no idea about these SCVs. Now he does, and it looks like he's not even going to bother going. Actually, he is going to go up that ramp. Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. But those force fields are pretty good, and those sentries do have a lot of energy for more force fields. That's more like it. So he goes over to the third base. He's going to take care of the Protoss' economy, and Harstem can't really engage on that. That is a large force, and more troops are coming in. What are the upgrades, actually? We have +1 attack, actually, for souL. I did mention that earlier as well. I guess I didn't know it till now. We have +1 ground weapons now being researched for Harstem. His third base is completely done for. And we have some Window Mines and Liberators on the way as well. Immortals coming in. Nice force fields, but Liberators being put in defense mode. How much damage will it do? Liberator does get focused down. Medevacs are kind of exposed, and so is the main Bioforce. And unfortunately, Harstem is kind of in a tricky position here, but he actually lets the Bioforces come in. Force fields again, and he doesn't care. souL does not give a hoot. He's going to focus straight for the range forces. He doesn't care about these Zealots. Goes straight for the Immortals, and that is pretty much it for Harstem. All of his ground forces have been destroyed, and oh man, Zealots are actually doing work. They do have charge, but it doesn't matter because Medevacs are a thing. He's not going to go straight for the main, though. He does mind trick him. Does big brain Harstem there for sure. We just have more units flooding in. I am surprised souL is not planning down his third base because he is just so invested on microing his troops here. We have Liberators being put into defense mode, and that is going to contain the Protoss even more. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if souL is going to plant down his command center, his third base, if he has one, that is. Thought he did have one. Anyways, Liberators are being moved up a little bit more. Bioforce is going to outrange these gateways, you know, because gateways, you know, they don't have much range at all. We got some stalkers being blinked out of there. We got a shield battery that should help with the defense in it, actually. Harstem is, you know, he's holding on, so we'll see what happens here. We got a nice force field here. Energy is completely depleted for that sentry. Liberators are in defense mode. Let's see how much damage it does, and that is game from Harstem. Wow, what an incredible game. I do like Harstem. He's still trying to hold on there. Really interesting decision on plus on the armor upgrade instead of attack, but you know, I guess it's personal preference, or I don't know if it actually would work in different circumstances. But I mean, souL, he just really outmaneuvered the the Protoss player, and it was just a fun game to see. Very fun game to see indeed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.